You are here today because there is something deep within you that seeks answers, something inside that longs for transformation, something that calls you to rise up to be renewed. Let me tell you something. There is a way, there is a truth, and there is a life that waits for you, a life that promises not just survival, but victory. In the quiet moments, in the struggle, in the silence of the night when your heart aches and your mind races, know this: there is a power greater than your circumstances, a power greater than your doubts, a power greater than your fears. And this power is reaching out to you, waiting for you to respond, waiting for you to claim it. This is not a message of wishful thinking. This is not a dream or a fantasy. No, this is a truth that has been standing before you, knocking at the door of your heart. It doesn't matter where you've been, what you've done, or how broken you feel. There is a way forward, and this way will make you strong. This way will make you whole. You see, there is something about your surrender that demands a response. When you choose to open your heart to something greater than yourself, when you choose to step out in faith to trust in the unseen, there is a claim that is made. Something shifts, something changes, and you cannot remain the same. You begin to walk in a new direction, a direction that promises peace, promises hope, promises a future brighter than anything you could imagine. What is it that will make you claim this? It is the very act of surrendering. Yes, I am talking about surrendering your pride, your ego, your self-sufficiency, your desire to do it all on your own. The world will tell you that you can make it alone, that you can find fulfillment in your own strength, your own achievement. But I tell you today, there is no real strength, no true peace, no lasting joy apart from what is offered when you lay down your burdens and trust in a power greater than yourself. This is not a message of weakness. This is a message of strength, true strength. Because in that moment of surrender, you discover that the strength was never yours to begin with. It was always there, waiting for you to claim it. And when you do, when you let go and allow yourself to be lifted, you will know what it means to be claimed by something far greater than anything this world can offer. There is a place of peace that can only come when you stop striving to prove your worth. You are valuable not because of what you've done, but because of who you are and who you were created to be. You are not defined by your failures or your fears. You are defined by the love that calls you, the love that reaches into the depths of your soul and says, I claim you, you are mine. And when you claim that love, you will begin to see the world differently. You will see people differently. You will see yourself differently. The chains of doubt, of fear, of guilt, they will fall away. And in their place, you will wear a new identity, one that is marked not by the past, but by the promise of the future. It is a promise that can never be taken away. It is a promise that makes you unshakable, unmovable, because you are grounded in something that is eternal, something that cannot be torn down or destroyed. This is the way forward. This is the way to peace, to joy, to freedom. The call is clear. Will you answer? Will you let go and receive what is waiting for you? Will you allow yourself to be claimed by something greater, by something that will never let you go? Let today be the day you make the decision. Let today be the day you claim the life that is calling you, the life that is yours to embrace, yours to live. And in that moment, you will know there is nothing greater, nothing more powerful than being claimed by that which is eternal. And you will never be the same again. True strength comes from surrendering your pride, ego, and self-sufficiency, allowing a greater power to guide and lift you. Embracing faith and opening your heart to something greater leads to personal transformation, peace, and a future filled with hope. Your true value is not defined by past failures or fears, but by the unconditional love that claims you and gives you a new identity. Choosing this path leads to peace, joy, and freedom from doubt, guilt, and fear, offering an unshakable foundation for life. There is a divine call that, when answered, claims you as its own, offering a life marked by eternal purpose and a strength that cannot be taken away. When we talk about the power of surrender, we are not speaking of weakness or giving up in the traditional sense. No, surrender here is an act of deep faith and trust. It is the moment when you let go of your need to control everything, when you stop trying to do it all on your own. The world often tells us that we must fight, struggle, and push through by sheer willpower, but true strength lies in the humility to recognize that we cannot do it all ourselves. There's a quiet power in yielding, in saying, I cannot, but I believe that something greater can. This surrender is not about failure. It is about releasing the burden of self-reliance and opening yourself up to something bigger than your limitations. When you surrender, you create space for transformation to take place. You allow your heart and soul to be aligned with something divine, a force of love and grace that will guide you, strengthen you, and renew you. This act of surrender clears the way for new possibilities, new life, and the peace that comes from trusting that you're not walking this journey alone. In letting go, you gain more than you ever could through effort alone. Transformation through faith is a profound journey of renewal that begins within. It is the realization that your circumstances, your past, and your shortcomings do not define your future. Faith acts as a catalyst that sparks change from the inside out. When you place your trust in something greater than yourself, you open the door to a new reality, one where healing and growth are possible, even in the most unlikely places. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, nor is it always easy, but it is sure and powerful. Faith is not simply about belief in a distant idea or concept. It's about embracing the reality that you are not alone, that there is a purpose for your life far beyond what you see. As you trust, you begin to see the world differently. The things that once seemed impossible start to feel within reach. You begin to approach challenges, not with fear, but with confidence in the knowledge that faith makes all things possible. Transformation doesn't just come in the form of external changes. It begins within your heart, reshaping your mind, your emotions, and your perspective. This faith brings new strength, courage, and the conviction to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles in your path. Your true identity is not found in what you've done or what others say about you. It is found in the love that claims you, the love that sees you for who you truly are, not for the mistakes you've made or the labels the world has placed on you. This love transcends every failure, every regret, and every fear you've carried. It is a love that embraces you, not because of what you've earned, but because of who you are at the very core of your being. When you understand that your value is not dependent on your performance or the approval of others, you begin to walk in a new freedom. The weight of judgment, of trying to measure up, is lifted. You no longer live in the shadows of insecurity, but in the light of being fully accepted and loved. This love defines your worth. It gives you strength when you feel weak, hope when you feel lost, and courage when you feel afraid. It transforms how you see yourself and others. You are no longer defined by the past, but by the boundless love that claims you as its own, shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. The promise of peace and freedom is not a distant ideal. It is a reality that can be experienced right here, right now. In a world full of chaos, uncertainty, and unrest, it can be difficult to believe that peace is possible. Yet peace is not the absence of trouble. It is the presence of something deeper that transcends the storms of life. When you open your heart to this peace, it begins to fill the spaces that once held fear, anxiety, and doubt. It is a peace that doesn't rely on perfect circumstances, but on a trust that you are held even in the midst of difficulty. Freedom comes alongside that peace. It is freedom from the weight of guilt, shame, and fear that often keeps us bound in patterns of self-doubt. When you embrace the promise of freedom, you no longer have to live in the chains of your past mistakes or the pressure of future uncertainties. You are liberated to live fully, knowing that you are not defined by what you've done, but by the love and grace that sets you free. True freedom is found when you no longer need to strive for approval or success, but can live in the peace of knowing you are enough just as you are. There is a claim upon your life that is eternal, one that goes beyond the fleeting moments of this world and anchors you in something far greater. It is not a claim made by the world's standards, your achievements, your failures, your status, but a claim made by a love that sees you fully, completely, and still chooses you. This claim is not temporary or conditional. It is steadfast, unchanging, and it transcends time. No matter where you've been or what you've done, this claim remains. It's a claim that is not based on what you can offer, but on the unshakable truth that you were created with purpose, with value, and with a future that cannot be taken away. When you accept this eternal claim, you step into the fullness of who you were meant to be. You are no longer defined by the past, but by a promise that stands firm, a promise that cannot be broken. This claim gives you a sense of belonging that the world cannot offer, a deep-rooted identity that cannot be shaken by circumstances. It is an identity that calls you forward, that fills you with the strength and courage to live each day knowing that you are held by something eternal, something that will never let you go.